Welcome, guys, to another episode of The Candy Show. I'm your host, Candy. We are in Detroit, Michigan, and I want you to welcome my special guest, but I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Kal Dawson, CEO of Kal Dawson Management Team.
And that's it. That's all.
No,
We'll get into it in a second. So, welcome so much to The Candy Show, Mr. Kal Dawson. Welcome. I got to give it up. Got to give it claps up. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, now I know some of you guys seen this man before, but for those who have not, I'm telling you, legend right here, legacy. But we're gonna get into it. Mr. Kal Dawson,
yes, ma'am.
what are we here for in Detroit, Michigan right now? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I come from Jamaica, Queens, New York, South Side Jamaica, Queens. I dibble dabbled into the street life. In early '90s, I worked at Def Jams at A&R. Then the mid '90s, I came the president of the record label Murder Inc. And then I appeared in Ford magazine twice for running a $400 million record company, as well as 2015 the Artist Management of the Year award at the BET Awards. I've been on Love and Hip Hop New York. I've been on season 2 of Power, on the Wu Tang documentary, in a movie called Snatch, filmed in Detroit. I was managing the legendary rapper Black Rob. I got a documentary about him that's on Tubi. I'm just working. I got a management company. I manage, Beanie Sigel. Work with Freeway, Memphis Bleek, Big 50 from Detroit that was on BET Trap Queens. Her documentaries on BET Plus, the Landra Hood story, and I'm just working.
Just
You know,
working.
just working.
That's what you call hustling. That's working. You have all those jobs. How can I
Yes,
be down?
it's simple. You know what I mean? It's like I sure love for people who come in my path who want to get money and eat with me. I mean, I'm not a selfish individual.
I like how you ran everything by I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. But let's talk a little bit about who, again, Kal Dawson is. Now, this is my first time meeting Mr. Kal Dawson. Um, good dude, good dude. But I feel like there's something else that's missing. What is it that we're not really focusing on right now? But let's go ahead and talk about Kal Dawson Entertainment.
Management.
Management. Thank you so much, Kal Dawson Management. You're here tonight with Big 50. Shout out to Detroit, home,
Yes.
talent. But what are you guys doing tonight?
She's doing an event with this guy Nico, which he had played in that TV show called P Valley as Uncle Cliff. He's a Detroit native. They're doing some type of awareness, because he's involved with the LBTGQ community, and they have a seminar functions going on, like a health awareness going on to individuals, people conscious about their health issues, practice safe sex. They doing things like that, and that came out here because Big 50 is a part of that with him, so I came out here to support her because she's a part of my team.
Okay, okay. And you also mentioned Memphis Bleek, Beanie Siegel. Talk to us a little bit about those artists because I know they're legends as well. Have you guys, what do you, what, you got some tours coming up or some kind of spot dates? Talk to a little bit about that for those who don't know because we know
Yeah,
rock,
yeah,
all of that good stuff.
them three individuals was a part of Rockefeller Records, which was a label by Jay Z and Damon Dash, and I have the privilege to work with them now as far as booking them shows because they have household names. You can't get them booked; they get paid shows. So I booked a show for Memphis Bleek. I booked a show for Freeway before, a mini show for Beans, and I just was in negotiation with Ice T to get them three individuals on Art of Rap tour, which will be coming in June 23 to November 23. And they got a nice catalog. They got that good hip hop that late '90s, early 2000s era. I just had a show last night, booked for Beans, and we was in Virginia, Portsmouth, Virginia, and he was hosting an event as well as he performed. He did some of his classic joints. It was a good turnout. Everybody was peaceful. There was no incidents. Everybody went home safe. Everybody had a good time. They was happy to see Beans.
So, are any of those artists coming out with anything new? Tell us about that. Do they have any new songs, any projects going on right now?
Yes, yes, yes. Bean has some books that he's pushing. He's also working on a possibility a state property part three, as well as new material. Him, Freeway. Um, a lot of artists, right, they don't have that that backing no more that they had signed to a major label. So a lot of them they put the music out independently. But he been talking to some other artists that's relevant right now, and they're working on some collaborations.
Okay, okay. Now, what else is going on besides that? Now, I know you and I've talked a little bit off camera, but let's talk a little bit about is that are you the entertainment company who wants if they want to book you guys, they contact you, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Go ahead and tell them a little bit about that information. Tell them go and get that out now.
If anybody looking to book Mr. Cheeks, Beanie Sigel, Freeway, Memphis Bleek, Big 50, or PD Pablo, or Benzino, you can reach out to me, Kal Dawson. My email is Kal, KAL dot DAWSON 337 at gmail.com. That's my email. On social media, on Instagram is Dawson Cal, and on Facebook is Kal Dawson. You can message me, DM me. You know, if yours is serious, you can call me. Look onto my social media. My phone number's on the flyers with my emails on it, and like we'll make it happen. If you do a contract, do a deposit, you get a video drop. We do everything professional level.
Okay. Well, tell us how you got in touch with Big 50. How did that relationship went? How did that go about? Come about.
Um, it came through. Big 50 had did an interview with a guy that I know in New York named Don Vito, and she appeared on BET's Trap Queen, and he had told me about her. So I reached out to Big 50, and a lot of people that she dealt with in Detroit, I know them as well, and so I started working with her, and then making some events happen for her, negotiating some deals for her, and everything was off to the races there. Everything was straight up. There was no funny business going on. She a real person. You look on the Black Rob documentary that's on Tubi, The Last Days of Black Rob. You see me and her, hugged up. We came out to Detroit, 2020 during the pandemic. Had Beanie Sigel and Black Rob out here in Detroit, and we did an interview at Corp Radio, and she was there with us. I mean, she came out to support, and she's a genuine person. She's solid.
And you just mentioned rest in peace, Black Rob. Now, if anybody didn't know and you Google Cal, you would know. And you know what? And it's not even we're not even going to go into everything, but
We can. I mean, like,
okay.
yeah, we
Well, let's get
can.
on into it. Let's get on into it. You're out there regarding everything that's going on that went on with Black Rob. Um, take us back to pandemic time frame.
Yes, I didn't see. Like I told everybody, I didn't grow up with Black Rob. I wasn't with him when he signed a Bad Boy. I didn't know him personally. I only met Black Rob um, August 2020. I knew him. I knew of him as he's a rapper. I'm into hip hop. I know of him. I know he's from Harlem. He signed a Bad Boy. Okay, he did a couple of bids. All right, but I didn't know him personally until 2020. This is the past his career. So, individual mom named Robert C. Styles Jackson was like, understand you work with Cheeks and Beans, you have room to work with Black Rob, getting him booked. He has no manager. I said, sure, he got some classic joints, songs with Bad Boy, so you make that happen. So I started managing him and booking him shows and stuff, and then he was on dialysis at the time. I mean, he was to go to dialysis 3 times a week. If anybody know the dialysis, he got bad kidneys, so you got to go to dialysis 3 times a week to refresh your blood. I mean, so I got him at the end of his career, but I was still making it work for getting him book shows. And I mean, he got sick. He had came down. I got him booked. Him, I got Black Rob, Mr. Cheeks, and Beanie Sigel booked for All Star Weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, March 2021. And while he was performing, I mean, that day he performed, his family member texted him, told him where you at, you need stay where you at, don't come back here, blah 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 blah. So he showed me the text and said like, I ain't got nowhere to go. The second time she did this to me was his cousin. So I was like, well, you come to Queens, New York. He said, nah, I want to stay. I want to stay here in Georgia. I want to stay here in Atlanta. So I'm trying to make preparations for him to stay in Atlanta, But he started swelling up. A friend of mine, put him in a hotel for like a few days, and what happened with that situation, being that Rob wasn't on getting treatment, he started swelling up. So I told the guy, he called me. He said, "Yeah, I meant to check on Black Rob at this hotel room. He's swelling up." I said, "Man, you got to call the ambulance, get him into the hospital because they got to refill his blood." I mean, so that was like a stressful situation dealing with him, but I didn't want to leave him for dead, leave him stranded because like his family members, his kids. I mean, everybody would like turn their back on him, like the hell with him. So in the midst of him passing away, right, his friends and his people running social media saying this, and make me point. They think like I'm the bad guy. I'm the one like you should be thanking me because I'm the one who was trying to save him. But that guilt comes in here. But then what I don't like how these bloggers, right, they take information and run with it. Actually, they don't know the truth, right? So they just run with the story that they get and not knowing like what you're saying. I'm not gonna allow anybody to throw dirt in my name. You're not gonna disrespect me in my face. I'm not gonna allow that. Anybody to do that to me. So these guys they hide behind these YouTubes and Instagrams and Facebooks and they saying this, saying this. Yo, he robbed Black Rob. Black Rob didn't have nothing. He was broke. He didn't have no money. I mean, he sold millions of records, but everybody was like so-called trying to antagonize me, but not going after the guy who signed him to the label, who owns his master. They ain't mess with him at all. You know what I mean? So they picking and choosing. But see what happens, right, when you do that and not knowing like what type of person you're dealing with, you get yourself to a situation where it might be some body harm be upon you. You know what I mean? And it's what black people fail to realize because you pushing buttons and you don't know really what's going on. The truth.
And that was the crazy thing is when we linked, and I was like, I read Black Rod. I was like, I wonder if this is the guy that put out that video. And then listening, doing my research, I was like, oh my gosh. So
And
that's the first time I ever really heard about you.
And the reason why I put that video out when he was in the hospital, it went viral because there was a cry for help. People like, yo, you should put that video out here for him. Nobody else was trying to help him. His so-called friends had his photo. They could have went from New York to Atlanta and get him out the hospital or picked him up where he was at and took him out to New York. They choose not to be bothered with Black Rob. But they full of shit. All of them was. All of them was. All of them. All of them. So they were trying to point their fingers at me like, oh, Cal, Black Rob signed his publishing over to Kal Dawson. No, Rob never. How he gonna sign over something he don't even own himself? See, this is the mind frame of ignorant niggas. That's what they do. That's what they are. That's what I call them. That's like I said, ignorant niggas. That's what they are. You know what I mean? He doesn't own his publishing. Puffy owns his publishing. Whoever owned Black Rob Publishing or Biggie Publishing, Rob don't own his publishing. If you own his publishing, you want to be broke.
We always take a clip and we always base everything off of that clip. No matter what it is, whatever the subject is, we all have an opinion. But then at the end of the day, it's like you can't even really almost comment on something when you don't know the full story, whether it's about a person's life or a cop shooting somebody else. No matter what, we always just jump to conclusion and we say what we want to say, and then you don't know the whole full story. But my biggest thing though is that was it was just a crazy time because you couldn't even everybody was at home.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my gosh.
See, it just shows, right, how the mentality of people is, because his so-called friends that lived in Atlanta, Georgia, like this Mark Curry dude and this other guy named Rob, they let Black Rob stay with him. I had Black Rob in hotels, got receipts, but they get on Instagram and was like, yeah, Mark Curry, oh, Black Rob, he good, he down in Atlanta. I don't know why that guy put the video up with Rob. Rob is good. Rob's not good. How is the man good if he telling you in the video, he's saying at his own mouth, I don't have no place to see, I ain't got no money. So, does that sound like somebody's good?
No, no.
I mean, but see, he uses that, as they call it, clout chasing. He said, "Well, Black Rob passed away and brought me and Puffy back together." Puffy never called him. You wrote a book about the man, said the man's gay, danced with the devil. What will Puffy call you for? Puffy never called him. He trying to use that to get his way back in, I guess. Make himself relevant again. And in return, he putting out these false allegations on me. And he's a sucker. And I told Mark Curry, I slapped Shelly. I told him at the funeral, he told the other guy named 10 Toes Down, tell Cal Dawson I'll give him the business. I told 10 Toes that Mark Curry come down the block. He ain't want to come. Don't talk the talk, you ain't going to be able to walk the walk. Because with me, I'm not gonna let anybody handle me any kind of way. I don't care about me doing life without parole or dying for what I believe in, what I stand for. You're not gonna let nobody do that to me. Nobody. East Coast, West Coast, I don't care who you affiliate with. That's not gonna happen on my watch. I'm not the toughest dude in the world, but I'm gonna go to the limits. And it was a fucked up situation. So I was like, he dead and gone, and I tried to do what I could do for him. Nobody in the whole hip culture reached out, tried to help him. Jay-Z did try to call. He called out DJ Self. Self tried to help and put the video up to reposted it, and people started antagonizing him like, "Oh, Self took some money from Black Rob and all that." And he was just trying to help. So everybody talking about money, money, money. Rob didn't have no money. Where you get this money stuff from? He didn't have no money. The man didn't have no money.
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take it all the way back. I need to know because on the Kennedy Show, we always like to find out a little bit of backstory about the individual and our guest. Um, and I know you mentioned it earlier where you from. Just in case anyone didn't hear it, tell everybody exactly where are you from, what city and state.
From Southside Jamaica, Queens, New York.
Is that where you laying your head at now these days? Is that did you ever leave? Tell me a little bit about that.
I left New York a few times. I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for a little minute. I lived in Raleigh, North Carolina for a minute. Maryland for a little minute. I moved around before. But New York City, what I'm saying, is my home. That's where I'm born and raised at. I leave for a year, 2 years, go here, there. Rub elbows, different peoples. That's what I do.
What's your favorite thing about going back home when you're at home? What do you like to do on your personal time when you're not doing all of these different things?
Watch cartoons, eat Chinese food and pizza.
Cartoons.
Yeah.
Wow. What
Yeah.
cartoon? What cartoons?
The old ones, going
Tom and Jerry.
No, I'm gonna get the old ones, the Flintstones, the Jetsons. I watch the Honeymooners. The black and white ones with Jackie Gleason.
Yes.
Yeah, those my favorites. I'm saying my classics there. Bugs Bunny. You know what I mean? Like those are the old classic cartoons I like.
Wow. Okay.
I like New York City. Like you could go, like certain places out of state. If you ain't got no car, you just shit out of luck. But New York City, 3 o'clock in the morning, you can jump on the train, jump on the bus, and move around the city if you want to. A lot of people in New York City don't need no car. Because there's always something to do in New York City. Something's always open.
That it is. I haven't been to New York since 2018. It's been a minute, obviously, but every time I'm there, I always have a ton of things to do.
Right.
A ton of things to do. I just can't just sit there. Can't sit there. Tell me a little bit about how this industry grabbed Cal and said, you know what, I need you in this industry. What is it that brought you to that part?
Well, me in the streets, dealing illegal activities. No, nothing illegal lasts forever. So I had to make a career change. End up being in prison for life with no parole or whatever. So I started, managing artists. So My brother is a good friend of Russell Simmons, so I came home in like '94. He got me a job at Def Jam as the A&R, and I took it from there. I had to learn the business, learn the game. Then I had to learn like, you know, if you can go state to state and move narcotics, you can do the same thing with, in the industry. It's same hustle, different product.
Interesting. Now, I doing my research, it was something that I caught in one of your interviews. How are you or someone of your, or like a relative affiliated with LL Cool J? Something about a car. Because I remember, was there something that was going on, like a car
Nah,
using a video or something? Tell me about,
we went to the
explain that.
same high school, Andrew Jackson. At the time, I had a nice Audi 5000, and he stood on the roof of my car and used that for his album cover. I'm bad.
Shut up. The
Yeah.
green one?
You see the green lights? He stand up on the side of the gates, and the car he's standing on, that's my car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, from someone that's in Indianapolis, Indiana, native, tell me a little bit about what. Now, yes, I have visited New York a few times, but when in Indianapolis, it was always we wanted to get to New York. We wanted to get to New York. Has New York changed
Yes, it
from?
did.
Go ahead.
Now it seems like everybody that once wanted to get to New York, a lot of people now don't want to go to New York because it's the level of thinking of the people. A lot of people in New York, we so divided. What I mean? We pick on each other. Like the rappers, they going against each other on the songs and they fight with each other. You ain't see that in the South and Midwest. They might have issues with individuals. You ain't see it publicly like that behind closed doors. So what happens now, like a lot of people from New York started gravitating. When the South got into the music industry and took off, a lot of people from New York started to go to the South or sound like artists from the South, and and other places trying to to stay relevant to get on. You know what I mean? So that's what I didn't like. Just be yourself. Like I don't care which state you from. You got good people and bad people everywhere you go. You know what I mean? You got, as they say, you got real niggas and fake niggas everywhere. I mean, you got good businessmen here, you got bad businessmen here. That's everywhere. That's the way the world is. They said, but you got diffused of who you feel to deal with on them levels. A lot of people out here are scammers doing, especially during the pandemic. Everybody was scamming doing something. What's your cash app? I'm gonna gift you 1,500. And did you hear about the money, the government for the free loans and all that type of stuff going on? Like everybody want to get rich and
So tell me, wait a minute. I gotta tell you because before you do that. So first of all, I love New York. I love New York. I love New York. I love accents.
uh-huh.
You have a dope accent.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You're welcome. How do I sound to you? Just asking, because I just want to know.
You sound very nice. It's different. You know what I mean? Like I can't tell like you from Indianapolis, Indiana, unless you tell me. You know what I mean? Because anything outside of New York, it all sounds like the South sounds the same. Virginia, North Carolina, some places accents are deeper than others. Like some people in Florida or Charleston, South Carolina, they got a deep country accent.
It's funny. So I asked you that because a lot of people think that I sound country.
Yeah, because see, because there's somebody from New York, you, Midwest sounds country.
See, I don't. Well, when you go past Chicago, like when you go past Indiana, Chicago, and St. Louis, they sound country. But I can't find. I don't see that. But then I have heard some things that I've
You
said,
know why?
and some words start sounding a little twangy.
Because you don't notice it because everybody around you talks the same. When you leave your element, then you'll know. Like if I come from right now, if I leave and go to where you're from and end up with people, they know I'm not from there. They say, "Hey, where you from? You from up north somewhere? Because you don't talk like you from here."
Right, right. I had
Mhm.
to ask that because again, I love my accents, and so I just wanted to see if you thought I sound country because a lot of people think I sound country. I don't know why, but because see, I like to also get to know my guests, so it's just not just about what my guest does. I want to get to know my guests. Favorite color?
I don't have no favorite color. I wouldn't. I don't. Me myself, I wouldn't wear pink, but I don't have a favorite color. I could rock all colors.
You know, it's crazy. I'm always in black and blue. It's not my favorite color. I just That's just a
Mm.
simple scheme to go with, and it's just cool.
Exactly. I got gray jeans on, gray sneakers. I rock any colors, blue. Red. Not gang affiliated. I rock any color I like it. I'm saying I can know how to finesse it. I'm gonna wear it.
Do you drink? Do you ever indulge in a nice
Yes,
little beverage here and there?
yes, I do. I like Henny coladas. I like pina coladas. I like strawberry daiquiris. Drink some Hennessy, yeah, some Tito's, yeah, Ciroc. I mean, I drink.
Well, I like pina coladas too. That's my favorite drink.
Yeah, I like pina
I
coladas.
think we might have to get together one time and we're gonna mix up some
Yeah.
pina coladas.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you like pina coladas, you like daiquiris, you like Chinese food, you like cartoons. This sounds like a regular average old dude, and I mean that respectfully, like a cool, chill, laid back guy.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I don't get involved in other people's politics, man. People be worrying about the wrong things. It's the old saying, right? It costs you nothing to mind your business. I don't care what this dude or what this female doing or how they doing it. If it don't concern me, I mind my business. You know what I mean? Like doesn't matter. If people don't know how to mind their business, and when you mind other people's business or interfere with what they doing, it's gonna be a problem for you. Mm.
That's so true. Stay your 6 feet, 50 feet, or whatever. Stay out my business.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
I got so many. I was just in Portsmouth, Virginia, in the hotel. I was watching my cousin Vinny, one of my favorites. Um, Goodfellas, Caddyshack, the Blues Brothers.
Okay, come on, yeah, the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, the Blues Brothers. Um, I got so many. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with Clark Griswold. I mean, that's one of my favorites.
Did you ever watch any westerns?
Nah.
You didn't?
Only Western movies I do like was Young Guns 1 and 2, Tombstones, but all that John Wayne
No.
bands and stuff. Nah, nothing fan. My mother was she was into that stuff. I ain't like none of that Western shit.
Oh gosh, my daddy would watch them. Wild Wild West, all those.
Right.
Did you ever watch? We kind of dating ourselves, but did you ever watch the Batman, the old Batman,
Of course.
Powell, and
Yeah, pal, yeah, of course.
oh my gosh, technology has
The
changed.
old Batman. I used to watch Dukes of Hazzards. Then I realized getting older what that flag on the top of their card represented. But yeah, I just watched that. The Incredible Hulk, Captain America. What's another one called? He had a suit and he lost the instructions how to fly. It was called American Hero, I think it was called. I
Oh,
was a school teacher.
he was on ABC. That was on ABC. He had a
Something like,
curly hair or
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. Yeah, I
yeah.
know what you're talking
Right.
about. Yeah. Wow. Woo. Yeah. That was some good days. Tell us about those days. Now we're in what year we're in, and we're talking about going back, obviously, with our discussion. What do you miss about those days?
Back then it was just things were simple, like you know what I mean. Like wasn't no social media stuff. Now like kids nowadays don't even go outside and play. They stay at home, watch they on their phone, on their video games. Like you don't see little girls playing double dutch or people know about playing skelly or jacks or playing tag. Like you don't see none of that. Like times have changed. Like, everything's about technology now. But I used to like back then coming home from school, like at nighttime, 11 o'clock. The Ark will come on, then the honeymoons will come on. Like on Fridays, like at 8 o'clock. You have like the Dukes that has it, Incredible Hulk, come on, Captain America. But like I said, times change. Like it's nothing like during September. Like you see the new cartoons coming out. Then you see the previews, and then you see new cartoons coming out. They're like okay, like the Littles or Voltron, Smurfs.
Oh,
You know what I
wait a
mean?
minute. I literally was thinking of Smurfs when we were talking about the cartoons. I was going to say that, but I was like, no, maybe he might not like that. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of these old school rappers, I've been seeing them on stage, right? 'Cause, nowadays everybody want to walk around with the Bin Laden beard. I call it now. Everybody got the beard, bushy out. But your beard looking so white, you look like a Papa Smurf on stage, and you trying to like, gravitate to somebody that's in their early 20s. You look like they grandfather up there. Like, where's your cane at? Where's your oxygen tank at? You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes is there a certain time in your life when you gotta be like, okay, let me let this go because this not for me no more. Let me pass it on to the next one. I mean, let me get out the way and let the next generation come through. Do what they do. Look at some of these old rappers, like, you know what I mean? Like, they got the gray hair, big, like they got gray hair in their dreads. Like, okay, at least dye it. You know what I mean? Try to dye it, cause
Hold on,
I
wait a
got
minute. You
gray
taking
hair
a
too.
shot. You got it right.
Listen, nah, I got gray hair too, but I dye. I use just for men. I dye my beard. You know what I mean? I dye black. Certain things I do, or certain places I go, I dye. Sometimes I leave it regular. You know what I mean? But I do dye. But I'm not a rapper. I'm not an artist. I'm not gonna be on stage and, got the gray beard looking like Papa Smurf talking about yes y'all to the beat y'all. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness. 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 All right. Now you talked about acting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I had some opportunities. A lot of opportunities came to my door after people found out the truth about the Black Rob situation that's on Tubi. You know what I mean? And I had some good situations came my way, like as far as acting, like like people just like just here's this line, you know what I'm saying? Read it, memorize it, and do what you do. So I had the opportunity to play in this movie they filmed in Detroit called Snatch. I played the owner of a strip club that's involving sex trafficking. Working on a reality show for a major network. I got some writers involved. Working with my friend of mine named Alonzo. He played in the TV show, the hit TV show called The Wire. He's a writer. You on board with me with that? He also working with me with Big 50, working on her series as well. So I have some things like in the making that I'm working on. You know what I mean? Because I'm just trying different things and and see what happens with it. That's all. Can't knock nothing unless you try it. I'm saying for people out there say, "Oh man, I can't do this because of people." Try and see what happens. I'm saying if it works, it works. If it don't, hey, I tried. At least I did it. I mean, E for an effort.
Exactly. Exactly. So, no, you didn't study any theater or anything like that. It's just
Nah, but I'm going to do, you know, take some acting classes. I got a forklift class. I took a forklift class a few weeks ago too. I know how to drive forklift. I've been knowing how to drive forklift, but I'm just certified to drive forklift now too. In case I want to work for a company or something like that, a warehouse or something, unload some trucks or something.
wait, it's I'm sorry. The forklifts, nothing wrong with it, but forklift?
Yeah,
I'm surprised you didn't say you just did some. Now I've seen a lot of people lately do CDLs, get their
yeah.
CDLs.
There's a lot of people do CDLs. I mean, like
Mm.
you works for you. I mean,
You don't want to be on the road like that. You're already on the
if
road
if
like that,
if I,
but would
if I
you?
got my own rig, of course. I mean, but my thing is, I wouldn't be driving state to state. I have a rig and pay somebody to drive it.
Mm.
I mean, that's what I would do. But not everybody built to be in that position, so they go get their CDLs and they content with that. I mean, I want more.
Okay. I mean, you already have 50 million jobs right now. So what else do you want? What else is it that you have now that you're like, you know what? I haven't. I need to go get it. I need to do this. I need to accomplish this.
I need my own family. I don't have a family. I have no kids. I need that.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you
If
actually
if
wanting
if
to
it,
have your own
if
family? Or
if
you want
if
to
it, if it,
adopt?
if it if nah, I'd rather have something in my DNA in it. But if it happens, it happens. It don't. Oh well.
Interesting. Hmm. Well, that was just blew me out the water. Um, One thing that you want the industry to do differently. One thing that you think that it could operate better. One thing.
S- Stop going against your own peoples. You need to know how to unite. Stop going against your grain. If you abide by that, maybe things will be a lot smoother. Because none of you people, none of you bloggers, I don't see none of y'all going after the Caucasian people. Only one person made a comment about them, their particular race, whatever reason why he did that. You know what I mean? But everybody else, there's a lot of people outside of being an African American is doing the most, and you're not saying nothing to them, but you always antagonizing your own, and then you be the first one to say when somebody white does us injusticely, your first thing you want to say, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. You want to march and yo, who you think is gonna like? Who I got to worry about robbing me? Nobody white gonna rob me. Somebody black would rob me. You know what I mean? Or shoot me or attack me. Nobody white doing that.
You're so true. We are so
Yeah.
critical of our own, but then it's like, are you really? What are you doing?
Like
What are you
like like you
doing?
got
Like,
people
what
in
are
the
we doing?
industry, like people in the industry like Puff. Yeah, we need black excavator. You doing a fuckery too. Like you like the artist, you got millions of dollars. Why you don't give? This artist back his publishing. Get this one back his publishing. Get this one back his publishing. But you just sold one like, yo, we need to do this. You doing the most shit too. Get the fuck out of here. Like, you hypocrites. Like, come on.
Wow, that is a word right there because we are. We are. We're the first one to criticize, and you
Yeah, like
not. What is it that you
how much
did?
money do you really need? How much do you need? What? How much money do you really need? You're not taking none with you when you die.
See, that's what I live by. You can't take it when you go. So what are you gonna do with it? Ooh, all right. I know I flipped this interview different than what you normally are used to. So I wanted to make sure that we really got to know you and not just what Google says or what you say yourself on other interviews. I just wanted to know who you were.
I'm just simple plain. I go anywhere, state to state. My paperwork good. You know what I mean? Corporate America don't care about people who snitching on other shit. Black people care about that. That's that nigga shit. Yeah, I'm for he ain't snitch, he a rat. Corporate America don't care about that. You know what I mean? But these people out here on these podcasts is like, y'all better be mindful because what if people start killing y'all instead of killing rappers? You know what I mean? That what should happen. Cause these guys we need podcasts. They be play games, right? They do this stuff just for likes and followers, subscribers. This man calling this dude gay, or I seen a gay video with this dude here, and no, it's not true though. But you just saying it just because reason. Now I won't be mad at the individual you talking about blow your head off somewhere and kill you. Then I'll be like, that's what you deserve because you initiated this stuff. You know what I mean? We should have been allowing that man saying stuff like that. You doing it for games. We want to play, ha ha, yeah, yeah, yeah. People be calling people like, yo, this dude here, he's a dope fiend, or he's just a sucker, da 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 da. All right, but what that same individual punch in your face or knock your teeth out, then what? You know what I mean? That's what needs to be done.
Wow.
Keep knocking on the devil's door, somebody's going to answer it. Remember that.
You just said something that just brought something to my mind. Children, youth, teens, young adults today versus back when we were growing up. Ooh,
It's different now. Everybody feel they grown. You can't tell them nothing. There's no structure going on in the house. So like I said, everybody on social media doing this, doing that. So who's raising the kids now?
social media.
Yeah, they go on TV and they twerking. Little kids twerking, 6, 7 years old. They see their mama's doing it on Instagram, Facebook, and all that other stuff, Snapchat and whatever. They doing it too.
They are.
I mean, so like the world we live in, they should ban social media for real, for real. They should ban it.
Man, I'm
Yeah,
telling you,
they
if
should
it
ban it.
wasn't for me to have to do what I needed to do for the candy show, I wouldn't be on it. It's not even something, yeah, it's mind controlling. The industry. Now, let's talk a little bit about the artist. The artist that you just mentioned that you're representing. Are you looking for any more artists?
Yes, I'm looking for artists that's younger, that's serious, that have it. It's like millions of unsigned artists in this industry. Everybody's not gonna make it. It's good that everybody's not gonna make it. A lot of these artists, they don't want to invest in their careers. They don't want to no, put that real hard work, and they want somebody else to like be their savior. Like, yo, I know how to rap, but I ain't got no money to go to the studio. Well, get you a job then. That's your career. Invest in yourself.
That's so true. That's so true. Now, when you're looking for the artists, are they always hip hop? Are they always rap?
Nah,
Tell us
nah.
a little bit about.
Came across some people that models, actors, actresses. They do spoken word. It wasn't always just hip hop. You know what I mean? I just go for which ones that I feel that I can make, guy in the right areas or make something happen for them. And vice versa, because it helped me to help you to help us. You know what I mean? It goes both ways.
Exactly. Exactly. One thing that you want everyone to know about Kal Dawson. Let them know.
Don't fuck with me.
Okay.
Don't fuck with me. That's all. 'Cause I ain't gonna bother you. So don't bother me. If you start bothering me, I'm gonna bother you back.
Was that the type of child that you were? Or did you go and just. The reason why I asked that, you don't want anybody to bother you, right? So, growing up, did you do that? Were you the terrorist one? Were you going around
Abs-
messing with people?
Absolutely not. But see, this is what I'm gonna explain this to you. We can't say right what a person can and won't do because we don't know. We don't know how far the next person will go or what you have to do to push their buttons. Because I think we all could be extremists to a certain point. And because everybody always say like these guys from the Middle East, they're extremists. No, I think a lot of us could be extremists. It's just that you might do certain things and put people and push them to that point where like you know what, fuck it, I'm going all the way out now. And this is when you have mass catastrophes happening.
Everybody has a breaking point,
Absolutely.
whether you're young or older.
If you keep pushing a nerdy guy in the corner, after a while he gonna push back, right?
That's true.
He may push back because he's scared. He may push back he tired. But then he do something drastic to you. Now the world's gonna be like, oh, why did he do that? You're not talking about why the other dude was bothering him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
gosh.
okay when the dude was bothering him, but now he reacted. Now he the bad guy. Now he the monster.
You only see that person
Right.
that's reacting and not the
Mm.
reactor. Like, I mean, like whatever happened
Right.
to even make them to do that,
Right.
react at a certain point. Okay. All right. Favorite favorite line from a movie.
You want to play rough?
Oh goodness. Tell everybody what movie that's from.
Scarface.
Okay. All right.
I got another favorite line too. It was in a movie. He said they brought him. He was at a dinner and he ordered some food and the waiter, the waitress, she brought him this plate. He said, he looked at his plate. He said, "What is this? This look like low grade dog food here." He said, I had better food in the ballpark. He said, "Look, you still see the whelp marks for the jockey."
What movie was that from?
Caddyshack, Rodney
Oh
Dangerfield.
gosh.
He was a millionaire. Rodney Dangerfield, I like him because every role he play, he got to be rich. If he ain't rich, he ain't playing the role. So in Caddyshack, you know what I mean? He was like, "Yo, what is this? Yeah, tell the chef this is like low grade dog food." So the girl, she went back and told the chef. So the chef was like, "Dog food?" He had his cleaves up. I show him dog food. He tried like act like he's gonna go out there and chop him up.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Has anybody ever told you sound like 50?
No.
Am I the only one?
Yes.
Well, I told you now. You sound like 50.
Well, maybe because he's from Queens, New York. Like.
So everybody gets down like that. They sound like that in Queens.
No, not everybody. Donald Trump from Queens.
Oh, well, okay.
Fo-
You
fo-
just proved
fo-
me wrong.
Football dudes from Queens. I mean, Bernie Madoff, he from Queens. Sydney Lauper from Queens. Lady Gaga from Queens.
Okay, you just proved me just completely wrong. All right. One last thing. Let everybody know once again how they can reach you to book the artists that you have.
If you look into a book, any one of my clients that I deal with, you can reach me on Instagram as Dawson Cal, DawsonKal, or Facebook KALDAWSON. And if you're doing an artist showcase, if you're a promoter and you're looking to help unsigned artists get on mainstream level, on the mainstream level, because I help unsigned artists get on mainstream radio stations as well as get them in magazines as well. So you can reach out to me and I'll make it happen. Simple as that.
Do you okay? So if they're not on Instagram, how's Facebook, and then do you have a?
But everybody's on social media nowadays.
That's
Majority of
kind of
people are.
true.
Like a lot of people that was on MySpace converted to Facebook, and
Oh my gosh,
you know what I mean.
MySpace. Oh my gosh. Um,
Mm.
I want to say this.
'Cause if they're looking at your interview, they on social media because that's
That's
YouTube.
true. YouTube. You're right. You are so right. You're so right.
Aha.
Can anybody else book you for anything else? I think I heard you say something about maybe if somebody wanted to book you, maybe come do a judging or a talent show or something like that.
Yes.
So you're open if
I
some
get books for that now. Yes, I does that now.
you does that now.
Yeah,
You does that
I
now.
does that now.
Okay. All right. Because I'm gonna tell you what, Indianapolis, Indiana has a lot of good talent.
Yeah, but see, it's a lot of talent everywhere in different states and cities, but they so saturated and fixed on artists coming out of New York, Atlanta, and Cali. So what about the people from Milwaukee? What about people from Iowa? I mean, Cleveland, Ohio. You know what I mean? Like Gary, Indiana. What about people from Indianapolis? You know what I mean? Like St. Paul,
I'm sorry, I gotta say this. Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
You said Indian, like you didn't pronounce the D. Indianapolis. It's
Yeah,
really weird because I've said this to you before. Because a lot of people that I know do not know how to pronounce
it's
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
It's funny.
It's Indianapolis, Indiana.
I just well, you know what? I
A lot
thought,
of people see. A lot of people don't know that. You know, the Jackson Five came from Gary, Indiana, which is like 30 minutes outside Chicago.
and then you tell me something about Louisville. Louisville. I say Louisville.
Louisville.
No, you say. How did
Yeah.
you say you
Louisville.
see?
Yeah, Louisville.
Isn't that so funny? I
Yeah.
think it's funny how we all pronounce things differently. So, guys, book Cal. You want his artists to come. You're a promoter. Book them.
Yeah,
Reach
reach
out
out
to
to
Cal.
me. Yeah, we book them, and everybody can afford an artist that like some of these promoters are good promoters too. Cause see, they want to book somebody like Lil Baby, the Baby, Moneybag Yo, but they can't afford to get these guys 150,000, 200,000, what they want. And them guys, they doing arenas. They're not doing clubs that hold 1,200. Might give them for a walkthrough. They might want to walk through. They might want to come out for 100,000. I'm like, okay, I come up, I show up, but I'm not performing. You know what I mean? So if you trying to book somebody under 10,000, like Beans, Freeway, Bleek, whatever, why not? You know what I mean? Because they got classic hits. They got movies. State Property 1 and 2, Paper Stores under their belt. So just say you're not a good promoter. You don't know how to promote. Oh, I don't think this artist's gonna do good at my club. That's the first punchline they like to say. Oh, I don't think he gonna go. Well, you must don't know. They sold millions of records. They just selling records in New York. They sold it nationwide, so therefore they got a fan base, right or wrong.
They have a fan base.
All right then.
Everybody knows
Yeah.
one of their songs. Everybody knows.
Right.
Cal, thank you so much for coming to the Candy Show.
I
Like I
appreciate
said,
you as well.
thank you. I appreciate you. There's a lot of times where some of the interviews are so just consistently the same. And I like to change it up sometimes, you know.
Yes, good to change. Change is good at times.
Definitely change it up.
It's always good for change.
Have you ever been to Indianapolis?
Years ago,
Nothing. What do you remember about Indianapolis?
we went out there for it was a basketball game, Pacers,
Okay. Okay.
and a lot of it's out there in Indianapolis, it's like back then it was like a lot of racial stuff going on. I think like the KKK started out there. I think in Indianapolis. A lot of people don't know that though.
No, they don't.
Mm,
They don't. They definitely
and,
don't.
and you still got the people that live on mind thinking too, floating around. But it's everywhere too. You know what I mean? Because if you black, you successful, not certain white people can still look at you as a nigga. So but look what we call each other's all the time.
That's it.
Dudes, you look at the bitch ass nigga over here. I went to a store one day, and it was an Arab dude in Harlem. It's his store, and he called this dude. I guess the guy always coming there begging or something like that. He told him, "Get the fuck out of here, bitch ass nigga." Bitch, he said, "Get the fuck out of here, bitch ass nigga." I was like, he felt so comfortable to say that, like.
Do you?
I said, what the hell's going on here? Like, you got a Arab calls my bitch ass nigga.
Oh my goodness. So, yeah, we got to be careful.
Yeah,
Gotta be careful. We don't want to be called that. We shouldn't be calling each other that.
exactly.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Hmm.
Thank you once again, Mr. Kal Dawson.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to another episode of Candy Show. Guess what? We're on Instagram, Candy Talk Show. Follow that page, Candy Talk Show on Instagram. YouTube, subscribe. You guys, you know I've said this several times. Subscribe, 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 subscribe to the Candy Talk Show Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube. All right, you already know it's Candy Productions, capital C and a number 2. Candy Talk Show on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And Mr. Cal, you ready to go get something to eat, get something to drink,
Yeah.
go party, hardy? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.